Now that you kind of have the overview of this, um, you're just loading these files in. And every time you load a file in, so if I right click here and I fill with the file, there's a lot of ways to do it. For example, you could also have, this is similar to how you can create a sampler in Logic and Live. I'm a little rusty on this a little bit because I usually just drop the clips in. But you could also, if there is something selected, so if I right click here, you see these are all grayed out. But if I have an audio file, for example, let me just click down here. So you have an audio file here. This is selected. If it's in my arrange view, and if I just click right here, I could fill with copy or with selected item. Or I could literally record onto the track. So that's kind of a cool thing. I was usually just going to fill with file, right? Okay, so that's how I map this out. So I have this version. I saved the preset for this piece, and maybe I'll go into detail another time how you could store all these presets and effects chains and make sure that they can be more transportable in your session. You have to really do a little bit of messing around with that um, to make sure you can move this, because this is not going to be on this machine, it's going to be on my laptop. All right, so there's that one. And if we go down here, of course I'm color coding them, but if you look, here's this main app, the main VST instance of Playtime in this effects, in this track. I'm just using this, if I need to put some effects in here, some compressing, whatever, because a lot of these files are the same, I can just put it in here because it's a parent folder. And those of you unfamiliar with Reaper, one of the awesome things is this parent folder where you're basically creating a whole bus chain here, create this bus or a submix where everything can be created. So here's all the tracks here. Now you're like, oh my God, that's so many tracks. But again, think, if you were to look in the range view and all of these clips were activated in Ableton, you went to range, you'd see them all there anyway. But the awesome thing is I can just go here and just collapse, and now it doesn't take up a lot of real estate. And the other thing too is when you're doing live shows like this, the real estate, the only thing you're really concerned about, I think, as I've done this, the only thing you're really concerned about is not necessarily how much is over here, right? And you can show how much you want, right? One of the awesome things about Reaper with the track manager, right, is you can just go right in here. And when I'm ready to roll, I'm just going to keep all of the, like, I will probably hide a lot of these tracks because I know if they're playing, I don't really need them. And, right now I'm into actually, it's not too bad. I'm at 32 tracks. I'm in to Alexa, stop timer. Ha! Alexa was just interrupting us. Um, I'm 32 tracks in, and I still have three more pretty clip expensive three more songs that are pretty. But again, the real estate is not a big deal because you can choose what you see. Okay. Um, so, and if I go to this instance, going back to Playtime, right? I mapped all these out similarly, and you kind of get the idea. Okay, so that's that. Now what I'm going to do, the next one I'm going to show you how I use ReaLearn as a way to control all these several instances. But before that, I'll talk about how I mapped them all out. Yeah, I'll talk about ReaLearn and how that mapped everything out.